so in the video today, I'm going to be going over 3 different tips and tricks to get yourself prepared for the big Super Bowl game. Now, I kind of sat down and thought about all the different things that everybody tries to do for the big game, but might not get it perfectly and do it correctly so that it stays on throughout the entire game and the entire night. So the first thing that I'm going to go over with you is face paint. Now, face paint is a really big thing to use for holidays, games, special events, anything like that. I'm going to show you my favorite brand of face paint and why I like it, and I'm going to show you 1 or 2 things on what to use the face paint for. The second thing that I'm going to show you how to do is lips. Now, a lot of people like colored lips and like to do something special for the big game or any other special occasion on how to create lips like these, or lips that are not the normal color lipstick colors like red, pinks, purples, and oranges. So these teams are definitely not teams this year that have really any colors that you would normally wear on your lips. So we're going to go for those bright colors and really cool designs on our lips like these. The third thing that I'm going to teach you how to do is doing winged colored liner. You do not need to buy colored liner for this look. You just need to use whatever eyeshadows you have in your kit and also a setting spray. So if you want to learn how to get this look for the Patriots or the Seahawks, please keep on watching. So the first thing that I'm going to teach you guys to do for Super Bowl is how to make a football and how to paint it with paint or face paint. My favorite face paint is Snazaroo. You can pick up Snazaroo at any of your Michaels stores. I have a kit right now that encompasses basically all of their colors, but they are not that expensive and they are very good. To activate their paints, you just need a little bit of water. So I'm going to teach you how to make this football that I drew on my arm. You can barely see it, but making a football is pretty easy. It's not hard at all. It's just kind of a little bit about dimensions and the shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a very, very small brush to make it. This is how small the brush is. And the reason why I choose a small brush is so that the football or whatever you're painting is very precise. And if you mess up with this, it's not going to be too bad of a mess up. So I'm just going to dip my brush in a little bit of water and go into a brown face paint because that's the color of a football. If you feel like making the football any other color, feel free. So I'm going to zoom you guys in, and I'm going to be making this football right here on the side of my face. So when I start out making a football, I'm not going to outline it in black. If I want to outline it in black, I'm going to outline it in black after I do the brown. The reason is because if you mess up on the black, you're kind of screwed, but if you mess up on the brown, you can just make the football a little bit bigger. So I'm going to start out by making an upside down U shape that's more flattened out. Once I've made that U shape, I'm going to make one that connects it. A football is kind of the shape of a lemon. It's also kind of the shape of a oval, but with points at the end. So I'm going to kind of make the underneath. So I don't really like the shape of my football, so I'm just going to be using the brown to fix up the shape. And as you can see, this Snazaroo paint is amazing and very pigmented so that you can get the correct colors. Once I've painted in my football, I'm going to wait for it to dry a little bit because we're going to be putting white on top of it, and when we put white on top of a wet brown paint, it's going to turn the white paint brown. So we're just going to wait a couple seconds for it to dry. I'm going to make sure that I clean off my brush extremely well. I just have a tissue and I'm just getting some water on that brush until none of the paint comes off of the brush anymore. So now that my brush is clean, I'm going to dip it into clean water and then into the white. So now I'm going to make the inside of the football, those little lines and that weird ridgy thing. I don't know what it's called. So to do that, to make it look like the football is more round and 3D, I'm actually going to be, instead of making a straight line, I'm going to be curving that line a little bit. And going over it. So once I've made my curved line in the middle, I'm then going to be making some straight lines across. Once I'm done painting my football and I've got it somewhat looking like a football, I'm going to go on to my lips. Now something about the lips that a lot of people like to do is make them a different color, especially for any sporting event, games, parties, you know, all the above. Anytime that somebody can make their lips a different color than a normal color, they'll do it. So I'm going to teach you a little trick on how to make your lips whatever color and whatever design that you want. The main thing that you're going to need is a NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. This guy is like heaven on earth. I can't even tell you enough. It works for absolutely everything. What we're going to do with this is we're going to apply this all over our lips. You don't necessarily need a NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. You can use any white eyeliner that is creamy or a pencil liner. Anything like paint or liquid liner, those things are going to dry on your lips too fast. This is not going to dry at all, but when we put the shadows on top of it, it's going to help with pigmentation. That's why we chose a white eyeliner instead of any other color, and it's also going to hold the color in. So let me get a brush and we're going to apply this all over our lip. Now the brush that I choose to apply this with is any very small brush so that we can be really precise on where this is going to go. I'm just going to start by applying it to my lips. So I'm just going to be filling my lips in as I normally would if this was an actual lip pencil or color. And if you do have a white lipstick, you can also use that, but I find that liner holds the color a lot better. I'm going to go to an eyeshadow palette that has the colors of the team that I want to put on my lips. So we have the Seahawks this year and we have the Patriots. So which one do you guys think I'm going to put on my lips? Too bad it's neither of them because I don't like either of the teams. I'm a Giants fan. But I'm going to be using any palettes that have a lot of bright colors like this one or the BH Cosmetics 120 color palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it in any form that I want. For the Seahawks, I'm going to be doing an ombre lip, and for the Patriots, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a design. So let's start out with the Seahawks. So the Seahawks colors are sort of like a dark blue and a lime green. So I'm going to take advantage of those two really bright colors, and I'm going to jump into my palettes here and pick a dark blue. The dark blue is going to go on the outside of my lips, and the lime green color is going to go on the inside. When I apply the shadows, I'm going to be taking any little brush that I decided to use, and I'm going to be patting it onto the white. So once I'm finished with the outside with the dark blue, I'm going to be moving on to the lime green in the very center. When I go to the one in the center, it is really hard to get these to ombre a little bit, so I'm going to pat it on the white, but then I'm going to swipe it a little bit and blend it into the blue. Once I'm satisfied with how it looks, I'm going to go back into my foundation or concealer just to clean it up a little bit so that we have the perfect lips. Now, once these lips are all done, I'm going to show you my idea for the Patriots lips. So for the Patriots lips, I'm going to start out with my white lips all over first, and then I'm going to be going into my shadows. Now the Patriots colors are red, white, and blue, so I'm going to use that to create some sort of type of lip thing. I think my idea in my head right now is to do red, white, and blue stripes, and then have some silvery, sparkly stars. What do you guys think? So I'm going to go into my dark blue shadow, and I'm going to be placing the dark blue shadow on the outside of my lips. I'm going to go ahead and add a thin stripe of blue right in towards the center. Once I'm finished with the blue, I'm going to go ahead and add some red stripes. I'm going to be adding some white shadow on top of that white liner, just so that we can make it more opaque and set the liner. Now for the stars on my lips, I'm going to be taking a little nail art circle with stars and some lash glue. Now taking a small brush, or a brush that you don't really care about because you are going to ruin it with the lash glue, you can most likely take a toothpick as well. I'm going to just be dabbing some of this lash glue on here, and I'm actually going to put the stars down the middle of my lips. So my glue gets tacky extremely fast, but yours might, so you want to wait a little bit for it to get tacky, and then I'm going to be taking a tweezer and my little stars, and I'm just going to be placing them right on. So these are my little stars. So since my stars are actually gold, I'm going to flip them over and they're silver on the other side. So I'm just going to go ahead and take them and place them on top of that glue. So as you can see, I put the little stars right here. You're welcome to do this pattern however you want. You want to make sure though that you really got these stars pushed down and in there. So I don't think my stars are glittery enough, so I'm just going to take some glitter liner. Mine is from Urban Decay, and this is in the color Glam Rock. And I'm just going to be placing some silver glitter on top of them. I'm going to show you a really quick way how to make colored liner with any of the shadows that you have. All you're going to need is a very thin liner brush that you would use for gel liner. You're also going to need some setting spray and obviously the colored eyeshadows that you want to use. Now you can use any setting spray that you want, but my favorite is the Fix Plus from MAC. I don't suggest spraying it directly on your shadows because then you will have to scrape off the top a little bit, but my shadows, I have too many of them and I don't really care that much, and usually the ones that I do use for this eyeliner I use again and again. So I'm going to pick my color. I'm going to choose the dark blue that I used on my lips. So I picked this color here, so as you can see I sprayed it on, and we're just going to take our brush. And as you can see, that liner, and as you can see, if I put it on my hand, you can see that the eyeshadow turned into more of a liquidy consistency so that we can turn it into some liner. So I'm just going to go ahead and line my eyes as I normally would. Once I'm satisfied with how the liner looks, I'm just going to take some of that lime green and add it to the bottom. Add a little sparkle to the inner corner. And voila. So this is the finished lip look. Now I'm looking a little bare on the face, so I'm going to do the classic football stripes on the cheeks. To do that, you can use your fingers, but I'm going to be using a big flat square brush like this. Dip it into my water, then into the black paint. And I'm just going to be creating my stripes. And now you are all ready for the big game. I hope you guys learned a lot on how to prepare yourself for the big game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you liked it. Subscribe button is that way or that way. And don't forget to also follow me on Instagram, which is @beautybyjulia, so that you can keep up with me and see lots and lots of pictures. Bye guys, see you in the next video.